What could possibly make one of the world's largest entertainment companies fall completely silent? And what could drive Jungkook, known for his resilience on stage, to tears in front of thousands? That is the pressing question surrounding the explosive moment when BTS's Jin delivered words so powerful that HYBE executives had no response, and Jungkook, unable to hold back his emotions, broke down before the eyes of ARMY. Was this a warning, a declaration, or a turning point in BTS's future? The incident, now dominating conversations among fans and industry insiders alike, unfolded not during a scripted press release or a carefully controlled interview, but in the middle of a live moment where emotions ran raw and unscripted. Jin's words carried a weight that silenced HYBE's representatives. Even more shocking was Jungkook's visible reaction. Why did these words strike so deeply, and what truth was hidden behind Jin's carefully chosen statement? For years, HYBE has been known as the driving force behind BTS's rise, managing every detail of their global dominance. Yet on this occasion, when Jin spoke directly and firmly, even the most powerful executives appeared unable to respond. Observers noted the visible tension in the room, the way HYBE staff exchanged glances, the stillness that spread across the stage, and the emotional shift that swept through the members themselves. Why was the weight of Jin's voice enough to silence an empire built on control and influence? The answer may lie in what Jin actually said. His statement was not shouted, not dramatized, but delivered with calm precision, making it even more difficult to ignore. He alluded to the possibility of walking away, of leaving everything behind if certain lines were crossed. Was this a direct warning to HYBE? And if so, what could the company have done, or planned to do, that would push Jin to consider such drastic measures? Jungkook's tears revealed more than words ever could. Known as the Golden Magne, Jungkook has always been portrayed as the strong yet sensitive younger brother figure in BTS. To see him break down in that moment suggested that Jin's words did not come as a shock to him, but rather confirmed fears that had been simmering beneath the surface. Did Jungkook already know what was at stake? Did he feel powerless to prevent what might come next? Fans present at the scene reported a palpable shift in the atmosphere. Cheers turned into silence. Excitement gave way to anxiety. It was no longer just another performance, but a confrontation, subtle yet devastating. ARMY members described the moment as the heaviest silence BTS has ever faced. Some wondered if this was the beginning of a battle between artist and company, one that could reshape the future of BTS itself. Industry experts were quick to analyze the implications. If Jin, one of the most respected and steady figures in the group, could openly challenge HYBE with such words, what does that mean for the balance of power within the company? Could this spark similar tensions with other members, especially those who have often hinted at creative struggles and overwhelming schedules? Or is Jin the only one willing to say what others have quietly endured? The emotional collapse of Jungkook added another layer of urgency. His tears suggested a deep, personal pain. Perhaps fear of losing Jin, perhaps fear of BTS itself unraveling. Was Jungkook crying out of solidarity, out of guilt, or out of sheer helplessness at the possibility of an unthinkable future? The questions left unanswered are precisely what keep ARMY awake at night, replaying the footage, searching for clues in every gesture, every glance exchanged between the members. What makes this moment even more shocking is how HYBE responded, with silence. No official statements, no damage control, no attempts to reframe the narrative. Why would a company known for carefully curating BTS's public image choose silence at such a critical juncture? Was it because Jin's words were too dangerous to deny, or because acknowledging them would only confirm that cracks were beginning to form in the seemingly unbreakable bond between artist and management? The global reaction was immediate. ARMY across the world flooded online platforms with speculation and worry. Some argued that Jin's warning was a defense of the group's autonomy, a demand for respect, and a reminder that BTS is not just a brand controlled by a corporation, but a family of individuals with voices that cannot be silenced. Others feared it was a sign that the bond between BTS and HYBE is reaching a breaking point, which is closer to the truth. Only time will reveal the full extent of the conflict hinted at in those words. Yet one undeniable truth remains. Jungkook's tears transformed this from a simple statement into an emotional earthquake. Fans who witnessed his breakdown have not forgotten it, nor have they stopped asking why it happened at that precise moment. Was he mourning the possibility of losing Jin from BTS? Was he overwhelmed by the bravery of his Hyung speaking out against power? Or was he carrying a secret knowledge that the public has not yet been told? The weight of Jin's voice, the silence of HYBE, and the tears of Jungkook together created a moment that will not easily be erased. Even days later, debates rage on. Some fans insist this was a warning shot, a message to the company that BTS's independence must be respected at all costs. Others see it as a precursor to a larger conflict brewing behind closed doors. Regardless of interpretation, the message is clear. Jin has drawn a line, and crossing it could change everything. If HYBE remains silent, speculation will only grow. And as history has shown, silence often speaks louder than words. The world is left wondering, what exactly did HYBE hear in Jin's statement that left them without an answer? What truth made Jungkook cry with such intensity? Could this truly be the moment where BTS's future hangs in the balance? The world now watches with bated breath. For BTS, every word carries global consequences. For HYBE, every silence raises more suspicion. And for Jin, the courage to speak may have set into motion events that cannot be undone. The question remains, was this simply a fleeting emotional outburst, or was it the moment that defined the beginning of a new chapter? One where BTS is no longer bound by the silence of corporate control, but by the voices of the members themselves? Whatever the answer, history will remember the night HYBE fell silent and Jungkook cried as the moment everything changed. If there was ever a moment when the veil of perfection surrounding BTS and HYBE was pulled back, this was it. No pyrotechnics, no choreography, no scripted speeches, just words that struck like lightning. The ripple effect has been undeniable, not only among fans, but also within the industry itself. Producers, managers, and insiders are whispering behind closed doors. Could Jin's statement signal the start of a battle between one of the biggest artists in the world and the company that helped build him? The implications are immense. BTS has long been presented as untouchable, a united front unshaken by the pressures of fame. Yet Jin's words pierce that illusion. His willingness to raise the possibility of leaving, even hypothetically, breaks open a conversation the industry has avoided for years. What happens when artists of BTS's stature no longer feel bound to their company? What happens when the balance of power shifts from the corporation to the individual? It is here that Jungkook's reaction becomes even more telling. His tears were not just the tears of a younger brother hearing his Hyung speak with unfiltered honesty. They were the tears of someone who fully understood the gravity of what was happening. To ARMY, the sight of Jungkook breaking down confirmed that Jin's statement was not